Hi, I'm Deborah Dahab, your expat coach, and I help people prepare for a move abroad with mindset, planning, and emotional muscle. And I also help them once they've arrived to adjust to a new country. Today, I'm going to share some 3 crucial tips that you want to make sure you're taking into account when going on your scouting trip. A scouting trip is a trip that we go on when we are considering moving to a specific country. We might have decided on the country and we're looking into different locations and really to confirm if that's the place we want to be, or we might go to multiple countries and check out. So it really depends on what you're deciding on. One thing is for sure, a scouting trip is not a vacation. A scouting trip, I like to say, is a mission with a purpose. So it's really important that you take that into account when preparing. This is not your typical vacation. You're not gonna have fun. I'll get there. You can have fun, but it's not just for enjoyment. You actually have a mission and you have a purpose, you have an objective, even if it's not explicit. So let me get down to tip number 1. And tip number 1 has to do with what I was talking about. It's really important that you clarify what your objective is with this trip. Is it to decide which country you're going to move to? Or is it to decide which region of a specific country are you going to move to? Or is it to decide if you're going to move to this specific country or if you're going to move at all? So really articulate as clearly as possible the objective of this move. I would suggest having 3 to 5 questions that you want to get answered during this trip. It can be, I want to confirm that I want to move abroad. I want to confirm where I want to move to, and whatever other questions you think are relevant for your trip. It's also important to involve any family members that will go with you and or are moving with you if the move really happens. And sometimes, you know, a couple can't go together. It's one and then the other goes or whatever. So it's really important to communicate and these questions be shared by everyone involved. Tip number 2 is and has to do with kind of like an action plan of what your objective is have a schedule, have a detailed plan of what you're going to do on each day, and have an objective of what you want to get out of that specific day. 1 question for each day. Now, if your scouting trip is very short, this is even more important. You need to be super focused. If your scouting trip is what I like to call a test drive, so you're going to stay like maybe 3 months or 1 month or more than 2 weeks, you can have this planning a little bit looser because you are going to have more time. But that's really kind of tempting to get into the vacation mode. So really make sure that you keep focused on your objectives. Doesn't matter if you're staying for 5 days or 5 weeks or 5 months. If it's a scouting trip, you want to get the information out of it. The last thing you want to happen is that after your scouting trip, you go back home and you're going to make your decision, whatever that is, and you realize that you don't remember, you didn't ask the questions, you didn't go where you needed to go. You had a lot of fun, but you didn't get things done. That's what you want to avoid. So let's get on to tip number 3. I talked a lot about working and getting things done, but it's important also to factor in fun, factor in relaxing. And how do you do that? Well, set aside times and moments where you're going to relax. If you have a very short scouting trip, you can do that like 1 or 2 days. If you have a longer scouting trip or test drive, you can factor in like a whole week of vacation within this scouting trip. And why is this important? Because sometimes we're so focused, we have tunnel vision on what we want to get done, that it's really, we forget about relaxing, and many of the joyful serendipities and fun things that happen that actually can help you make the decision happens when you let your guard down and when you're having fun. So even though it is a trip with a mission, for sure, and a mission with a purpose, for sure, remember to factor in moments of fun and relaxation. So these are the tips that I had for you today regarding this scouting trip. If this makes sense to you, if you think this was valuable information, take a look at my full course, How to Prepare Your Scouting Trip for Success. It includes a 1-hour call with me, and all of the details are in the description box. And all of the resources, I have many free resources, other programs. Feel free to get in touch. Remember to like and subscribe and share this video. Also, comment, let me know if you liked it, if it was helpful, and if you have other questions or other topics that I can help you with in your international relocation journey. It was a pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.